Right, it's Monday morning, and I think we owe ourselves a double celebratory sigh. Hazel, hang on, let's go together. Okay. One, look at the camera. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And the reason why we're double celebratory sigh, do you know why?
Let's look in the back. Let's just look in the back of the car and see what's not there.
Let's spot what's not there.
Who isn't in the car?
Who isn't in the car? Why is it quiet? Why has Bedlam all of a sudden gone back to school? I don't know, but I'm very happy that it has. It's because it's the end of the Christmas holidays. They've gone back to school like jolly little fellows that they are. Jolly little elves. They went off tootering and hollering on their way to school. Did they take their special brand of madness with them, Hazel?
Oh, God, yeah.
Was it a bit too much?
Yeah.
Right. And how happy are you now that they're back at school? You look like you're going to break into tears. You honestly look like you're about to cry.
You know why I'm about to cry?
Is it joy?
No, it's because I didn't get to drink my cup of tea this morning.
No.
And I haven't had any breakfast.
No. So it is definitely back to school, isn't it?
I'm starving.
Yeah. So should we remedy that then?
Yeah, we need to go and get a cup of tea.
Cup of tea. Cup of tea and some brekkie.
You know where we could go? We could go to the Waffle House.
We could go to the Waffle House because we are off to St Albans. Excuse that rude intrusion. We're off to St Albans today.
You got to get your iPad mended.
Got to get my iPad mended. Yeah, it broke. Mind you, I do get a lot of use out of it, to be honest. What do you reckon, Hazel?
It broke because you put a dodgy charger in it.
Dodgy chargers, £3 for a pound. Dodgy chargers, £3 for a pound. Yes, I've got them from the market. What, the dodgy charger or the iPad? I've got the iPad with me, yeah. It wouldn't make much sense if I didn't bring the iPad, would it now, Hazel?
You were going to forget it.
Although that is the type of thing that I am warrant to do.
Yes.
Right, so we're on our way to St Albans. We're going to have get the iPad sorted, hopefully. The guy said, no, I've had no breakfast. Brunch. The guy, brunch, very middle class. Wouldn't think I'd come off of a council estate, would you, originally? Yeah. Right, so, what was I going to say? The guy said to fix the iPad would be a tenner to just get the little bit out, or failing that, 125 quid, wasn't it, or something like that, to take it apart. Guess what he's going to have to do? Guess what he's going to have to do? Right. If I had a hat, I'd eat it if I was right, but we'll see. So yeah, I'm going for the 125 quid or whatever it is. I'm going for the more expensive option because that generally pans out that way. Anyway, we're on our way to St Albans.
Get the tumble dryer mended tomorrow, and that's going to be
the tumble dryer. Has the dishwasher sorted itself out now?
The dishwasher appears to have sorted itself out, but it did do that before. It was started not opening the.
So it was the last splutters of life, was it, before it finally conked?
No, because there was some reason. I can't remember what it was. The man did tell me there was something that we weren't doing or something.
Right.
This is another riveting vlog from.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Daily life.
Yeah, I can't remember. There was something that was not being done with it, and he also told us to put salt in it, which we haven't done.
He did tell us to put salt in it because it cuts down on the what's it called? Lime scale. That's the one, the lime scale. Yeah, it's a riveting vlog, this one. You know, I mean, we thought we'd go to 2020, and we thought we'd up our game. Clearly, we haven't. But we will. Tales from the Hedge.
The trip to the dump.
The dump, Durex trip to the dump. That was all last year. Those were the favourites in 2019.
Yeah. And tales about our broken appliances.
Tales about our broken appliances. If you're really lucky, I might do one on the day I had piles. But
I think you might have taken a picture and sent it to me.
I probably did. It sounds like a sort of thing I'd do. Right, I'll speak to you in a bit. But do you think about me undressed again? I'm thinking about me undressed. See in a bit. We're here. We're in St Albans. There is the old town hall there. And yeah, it's quite pretty. We'll see a bit more when we get out. So Hazel and myself, I've got a bit of a story about St Albans. And it's not a very nice one, really. Would you like to divulge one of our innermost secrets?
I don't know what story she means.
You know the one.
I really don't.
You know the one about the arm.
Oh, that one. The one where we couldn't go to St Albans without bickering and storming off.
We could
you
not.
You threw a bit of Cornish pasty at me once.
Yeah, that's right. We used to argue bicker, we used to call it. We used to bicker and bicker and bicker. But every time we came to St Albans, we'd argue, wouldn't we, like cat and dog?
Yeah.
And did I throw a bit of pasty at you once?
Yeah, you were really cross. I can't remember what about, but you.
Doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, throw away food. But
probably a bit of one of mine. You
it might have been, might have one of yours, yeah. But
have Cornish pasty, couldn't we?
oh, that's right. That was the day you punched me in the face.
I didn't punch you in the face. I'll tell you, it did happen though. You fell over in front of somebody in the snow.
I fell down the curb over there in the snow.
Happy times, eh?
Happy times. And the guy looked at me and went, I'm not picking you up. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Storeholder went, yeah, I'm not picking you up. I went, don't blame you. What else has happened here? We did argue every time we came here. We argued like cat and dog. It was awful.
Well, we sorted it out in the end, didn't we?
It was you, wasn't it? You were the problem.
Do me. You.
But yeah, we just couldn't come here without arguing. But you know, I'll tell you what, times here were grim and dark. Let me tell you a little story. And the town of St Albans, or the city of St Albans, was a very, very messed and muddled place. And it was overcast with some sort of ominous cloud of doom. But then, this is what used to get Hazeldown, but then Prince Lush arrived. Prince Lush of the magical soaps and bath bombs, and opened a shop here.
And there's a Hotel Chocolat.
And a Hotel Chocolat. And Hazel fell in love with Prince Lush and his wares. So much so that the cloud dissipated. It just went. And yeah, ever since then, there's been a sunshine and blue skies over St Albans. Let's have a look.
Get some food, please.
Let's get some food. We don't want a repercussion. Hungry Hazel. We don't want a repercussion of the old. We don't want a repercussion of the pasty wars of 2017.
No, we don't.
So here we are. Believe me, it's a very expensive place. This is very, very upmarket. We would have loved to have lived here, moved here once, but it was just way out of our price range, wasn't it?
Not millionaires.
Not millionaires. You would need to be honest. But it is very, very beautiful, lovely place. So they normally have a big market square over here, and on Sundays they normally have like a farmer's market, which is pretty long things now. And Hazel's making for Prince Lush of the shop. You going in there, are you? Let's go in there then. There you go. Hazel walking off with a bag of Lush goodies. She's saying, you're Lush goodies. You're a Lush, love, aren't you? You're a Lush. So up here is a pub called the Old Boot. I'll show you it because I did an investigation in this some years ago. It was quite eye-opening, to be honest. I'll tell you about it in a minute. So this little square here apparently is overpopulated with spirits, with ghosts. That window up there at the top, the one to the left, normally has the spirit scene looking through it, and the one below. There used to be a public house here. I think that used to be part of it. And there was a boy killed by a carriage just out the front of it. There's a butcher's boy killed here also. And many spirits up and down St Albans. It's absolutely a plethora of hauntings and spirits in this area. It's like a triangle, it really is. So this is another part of the haunted area. As you can see, it's ancient. And as you go down here, I'll show you that these are obviously Tudor and Elizabethan buildings. And this alley here, many, many centuries ago, was actually the route that the pilgrims took to go through here, down here, and up to, you can just see the turret of the cathedral right the way through there. You can just see it peeking over the tops of the roofs. And there's a shop along here, which this is the back of it. And it used to be like a crystal healing mediumistic shop for obviously for mediums and psychics, and they reckon that drummed up a lot of the energy here that made a lot of the spirits become active because they were dealing with that type of thing. There you go, spooky. So we're in the West Cornwall pasty house. You right there, Hazel? You're not happier now? You're not hangry anymore? And I'm going to save that little bit there to throw in at Hazel a little bit later when I'm angry, because that's what it's become tradition now. What started in anger is now tradition. You can't talk, you've been bit on too much of me, yeah? Greedy, greedy, she's so greedy. Oh yeah, sorry. Throw it at me. See you. Anyway, we'll go outside in a minute and I'll tell you a little bit more about that pub that I investigated. So there's the boot. That's the boot public house. And this is the place that we did the investigation, which actually proffered quite well, really, because, well, I'll explain more about it in the car when we're away from the public, but it's a very, very haunted pub, and it's also got stories of a time slip in there, which happened quite recently. How's this for ambience, guys? This is actually a courtroom. It's actually a working courtroom, Hazel, isn't it?
No.
Or is it not?
It's not a working courtroom. You could have people just swanning around, could you?
No, but I mean, obviously they close it and open it as a
It's a working courtroom. The court's over the other side of the town.
Oh, is this not the courtrooms anymore then?
No.
I thought the courtrooms were still here.
Back of the museum, there's no cells.
Well, no,
There's
but, well, no,
security.
clearly not. The cells are downstairs, aren't they? So, this is the working courtroom. Hazel in her,
Is there like metal detectors?
Hazel in a natural habitat. Working with offenders.
You're not us, right?
So yeah, so this is the courtroom. It's a pretty cool place, and I'm sure this has probably got some ghostly stories. I think it has got ghostly stories, hasn't it?
I don't know, you just said
We came here and did a walk once, didn't we?
Yeah.
But it was with that mad woman, wasn't it?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they used to sell books in this bit.
They do. They have book sales in here as well, don't they? So that's pretty
And you
cool.
didn't have all this stuff, all this panelling, that wasn't there.
What, offenders?
No, all this panelling wasn't
Yeah, there wasn't any. The panelling was there, but I'm guessing those seats weren't there, obviously, because you can't have coffee in a courtroom. I don't know what Hazel thought for one remote minute that it was active, that there was people using it still. But yeah, this is the courtroom, so there you go. So we did a ghost walk once with St Albans Ghost Walks, and they're reputed to be really good. And to be fair, they're fantastic. The guy who does the talks and the walks is a blue badge holder, so he's professional. He's top of the tree.
We didn't go with him, did we?
But we did go with him. But unfortunately, the evening that we did it, there was an en masse of people, wasn't there? So he decided to give us to his wife, who isn't a tour guide, who doesn't hold a blue badge, and who just kind of did it on the hoof. And she was mad, quite mad. I can't remember the sort of thing she was. Oh yeah, that's right. To give you an example, we walked up to one building outside. I talked about it earlier on coming in, and she went, "In that building there's a ghost in the stairwell, and that stairwell's always clean." Moving on, let's go and see the next one. That was it, something like that, wasn't it? It was really awful. I don't think you've gone deaf. She was just boring, yeah. Anyway, it's a beautiful, beautiful building. As Hazel says, it also doubles up as a museum now. So these are interesting. So this chain mail and this knight's helmet here will actually belong to Sir Richard Lee. And Sir Richard Lee was Henry VIII's military architect, and he was granted a sizable chunk of land here in St Albans, and they believe this was for his funeral. And his funeral was in 1575, so yeah, amazing. Look at that, how's that for a piece of history? Fantastic. And these are the type of things that you find here in this museum. Have no fear, my fair damsel. I shall save you your knight in shining armour, Sir Dan of Hertford. Bit tight. Right, sorry about the bumpy camera work. There's potholes everywhere for a borough that has got so much money. You wouldn't think that they have had third world potholes, but yeah, they have unfortunately. Anyway, we finished in St Albans now, and we are on our way home. But before we go home, we are actually going to pop in to the guy who I dropped my iPad off, because he fixed it, and it looks like I might be, yay! People want to use that one? Hey! And therefore it looks like he may be the cheaper price. So I maligned the man. Obviously, living in a world where people are out to squeeze every penny from you and out to take what you even haven't got, I misjudged the man. There are still some good, decent, honest people in this world, and we're hopefully going to pick the iPad up from him now. So yeah, that's it really. Also wanted to tell you about that pub. So I did an investigation in that pub, the Boot Public House in St Albans, and I had mentioned that there was a time slip in there, or a couple of time slips, one that happened quite recently. Now, for those of you that don't know what a time slip is, I'm sure you do, but just in case you don't, or you're wondering what it is, it's when somebody enters a building or they're walking somewhere and all of a sudden they to all intents and purposes, step back in time. So they're actually viewing... Step back in time. So they're actually viewing the past from the present. I don't know how time works. Some people say it's circular. Some people say it's linear. I personally think it is circular. I don't really know. I think time repeats itself over and over and over again. However, that is what it is. It's stepping back into a previous time and even interacting with the people that are present at that time in that past time. So it's quite unusual. It's unique, but it has happened, I believe, or these people have said that it has. And the one that was associated with that public house is a young guy. It was New Year's Eve, maybe 10 or 15 years ago. So still current memory, still quite recent in the time frame of things. And he went in there with his friends, and his friends went in, and he went in after them. And when he went in there, his friends weren't in there. He couldn't see them anywhere. But there were people that he's seen in there that he said were wearing powdered wigs and were up against the bar. It was absolutely heaving with these people. He said they were dressed in a very unusual garb, as though it were from a past century. Powdered wigs would say to me at least sort of 1700s, around about that time. And so he got the shock of his life, came back out, opened the door again, and all was present and correct. He was in his present time. So that was one. There was one even, I believe there was one after that. It was a young a lady who'd opened the door of the public house, and when she opened the door, her description was exactly the same as this guy's. No relation to this guy, no communication as far as we know. And her story goes along the lines that she opened the door, everybody in the pub, or most of the people in the pub, the men were wearing wigs, and it was mainly men in the pub, and they all looked at her, including what she took to be the landlord or the barman, and they all looked in her direction and laughed. And she said they were even smoking sort of long white pipes, which in my opinion would be a clay pipe. So those are some of the things that have gone in that pub. Also, and I'm not really going to tell you this one because this is quite horrific, but the guy that was the landlord's son when I investigated it. He used to, well, he was actually the landlord. His father and mother owned it, and they'd let him take it over or run it for them. And he was sleeping upstairs in the top bedroom. Now, it's a coaching inn, so it was used for coaches mainly come from Ireland, I think, to and from Ireland and into the city of London and back. But it was a big route from Ireland and what have you there, coming in there and going out of there. But he was upstairs, and they all slept upstairs in his room, and the girl had the most unfortunate dream, and she woke up from it, and her garments were dishevelled in the morning, and she swore blind that she'd been attacked, for want of a better description. I don't really even like mentioning the word because it's such a horrible word, and her clothes would have sort of bared that out, that is what happened. He was present when that happened, and it shook him, and he said that in the room, which is up in the eaves of the pub, the door kept smashing against the frame most nights, and even when we were there, we sort of picked up on a couple of bangs from the door, but nothing that we would say was paranormal. But the way he described it is he couldn't really get much sleep in there. In actual fact, he neglected to use the room or the pub, and he sort of slept away from the pub and then came back every so often. So there was that as well. And there was also, when I was at the bar waiting to go down into the cellar, something brushed across my leg, or across the side of my leg, pushed me out, like nudged me out the way, and I looked down and I thought, and I was looking for a dog, because I thought, well, there must be a dog pushing against me. And I looked down, there was nothing there, and I thought, oh, perhaps it was small. And when I spoke to the guy, he said there was no dogs in there, but there's stories of a spirit dog. So maybe that was it, maybe it wasn't, I don't know. Personal experience, it's hard to sort of convince other people it's a personal experience, but I know what I felt, and that's the way it should be. You know what you experience, you know what you feel, so that's it really. So that was it. That was it really. Pretty mundane stuff. Well, not mundane, but you know, pretty run of the mill for the stuff we deal with. So yeah. Anyway, let's go and pick that iPad up.
It's very nice. Old
So,
school man.
What was he like, Hazel?
He was a bit of an old geek.
Nice
But
fellow
very
though.
pleasant, yeah, very nice.
Nice fellow.
Very honest.
Wow, hold the front page.
Whoa.
There's an old guy who's a geek who fixes computers. You would never have expected that, would you?
I can see my dad doing that, you know.
Your dad should do that. He's a
Yeah.
computer
He's
freaky, geeky.
Really, but I don't think he could do an iPad. He could do like a PC, but that'd be about as far as he could do.
What, a politically correct iPad? What, a politically correct iPad? You said PC. Anyway, yeah, he was a decent man. He charged me the tenner,
Yeah.
so I much maligned the guy. Yeah.
So, if you need any computers fixing, Mr. Computer in Sandridge, near St Albans in Hertfordshire, excellent.
Does he do like postal as well?
I don't know. Probably.
I would think he does, doesn't he? Because
Yeah,
he works from home.
quite likely. Yeah. But if anybody needs any, you know, computers or tablets or iPhones or what have you fixing,
Mr.
send them off to
Computer.
Mr. Computer.
Look at that. He
Very
doesn't
interesting.
even endorse us. He's got to be good. If we're going to endorse him, he's got to be good because, yeah, he's a thoroughly decent guy. Thank you very much, Mr. Computer. So that's it, really, isn't it? Should we go home now?
Yeah.
Vlog over?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I'm all in that.
What'd you say?
Bye.
Now, to work on that enthusiasm that Hazel will give you there, bye.
I'm driving a car, as usual.
Capitalise on that enthusiasm, I should have said.
I'm
Bye.
driving the car. What do you want from me?
Badly. Right, thanks a lot, guys. Speak to you all later. Have a good one. Bye. There's Hazel. Oh, I'm betting on a little bit of privacy there. So we're out walking the dog, walking the lil. So this is the field that we take her, one of them. All the other dogs. She downright loves it here. Absolutely loves it here. It's very nice, and you've got woods over there you can walk in. And there you go. Hazel's doing the poo picking today. Whoa! And she's off. He doesn't look impressed, does he? He looks very unimpressed, to be fair. Lily, come up. I know. Lil. Lily trying to make friends. Just having a little bit of relaxation and rest, getting the dogs out for a walk, dog out for a walk, I should say. Freudian slip there. And the reason is that, oh, Lily's getting jealous, that we haven't got the kids with us, so we can do it in a relaxed mode, which is always good. Very cute. You made a friend, Hazel.
He's leaning on me.
Ah, lean on me. When you're little, I don't know the words. He's cute. Do you know his name?
Dog.
I will call him Mighty Fluffy Warrior.
The person's over there.
Hello. Hello, how are you? Hello. Oh, you want me?
I'll have a little lean on you.
Oh, lean on, you can lean on me if you want. You want me to stroke you, do you? Right. Strokey, strokey. He's lovely. You're gorgeous. Look at you, you're so sweet. Lil! Lily! Lil! Look at that. Nothing. Lil! Lily! Come on! Lily! You ever feel unwanted, unloved? I certainly do at this particular moment. I feel very unloved. God, unbelievable. Hazel threw a stick and Lily did the usual. She went to it and left it. Oh, good girl! Yeah, what you got there? You shouldn't really have sticks. They're not good for dogs.
No, but it's pretty big, isn't it? It's not a choke.
Splinters.
Splinters?
Splinters.
Pretty old.
Lily splinters.
Ready?
Ready?
Where's it gonna go? That way? No, that way.
Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? She fooled you. She fooled you. Oh. Kill it. Kill that bad stick. Why? Guess who's just done a poo roll? No, it's not me. Might be Hazel. she says not. She protests too much. It was Lily. Lily the smelly. Lily! How dare you roll in the poo? Naughty doggy. Yeah, no problem. Look at her. Butter wouldn't melt. Lily! 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 I didn't even know I could go that high. Lily! Look at that. Nothing. Nothing at all. Yeah, perhaps she has forgot her name. Lily! That's a bad whistle. God, my whistle, my mouth's dry. Oh, I'm not even going to attempt anymore. It's embarrassing. Lily! Lily! Look at this. In your own time, Lil. Not like we practiced, but in your own time. Come on, Lily. Come on, Lily. Here she comes. Here she comes. And right past me to another dog. Oh dear. Here we go. Here we go. Got to say hello to everybody.